Let me explain about the process for the deliberations. In this process, we'll be talking about the impact of the Doshu system on education. And we will probably come up with different questions we want to ask the experts about. Let me explain the rules, first of all. Those of you who are here, including myself, are not experts about the Doshu system, I think. We are not assuming anyone to be an expert here, and we want to have a free discussion. Let's respect each other's opinions. When one person is talking, let us not interrupt them. Let them say what they have to say. If someone else starts to interrupt someone's talk, I may ask that person to stop and respect the person currently speaking. Is everything clear so far? Is it clear? Let's go to the first topic then. I believe you have already received a copy of the briefing materials. Some of you may have read it already, others may be looking at it for the first time. In our first debate, we'd like to look at topic 1. How will education change under the Doshu system? We'd like to think about the impact of the Doshu system, especially on education. Why don't we get started? Do you have any opinions or any issues you'd like to raise regarding education? Actually, about until 15 years ago, I was a teacher at a primary school. However, in a small group like this, I certainly don't call myself an expert. Please don't consider me to be an expert on education. Before talking about education, I think I'd like to share my thoughts about the Doshu system itself. Authorities and fiscal powers, or taxation powers, are always spoken about as one package, as a set. If we look at it the other way around, it means if you're paying the money, you have the right to say something. It seems like a system of that sort. They will transfer the responsibilities, but they won't but people are asked to be self-sustaining, self-financing. That seems to be one aspect of Doshu system. May I say something? What I say may overlap with what was said a moment ago. In the last election, there was a lot of talk about decentralization of powers. I was wondering how the Doshu system is related to, decentralization. I have a group of friends, and I discussed about it with them. Actually, I'd like to share what I learned here with my friends. I think I have a somewhat better understanding after reading the briefing document. Which part of the document was helpful for you? Or could you share what you learned from reading it? I underlined the parts that I thought were apparent. There are pros and cons as written here. I wonder how this system is going to develop. I'm very interested. And I'm interested in today's discussions. I'm looking forward to hearing what different people have to say. Before talking about the merits and demerits, there's an explanation of the doshu system on page 10. We're going to switch. There's an idea on how to switch to divide the country into regions rather than prefectures. Is it similar to a state in the United States? Is it a model similar to the state or federal model in the US? It's like we're a lot of blind people trying to feel an elephant and understand its shape. We don't know what doshu system is. Our previous system worked well under fast economic growth, but under huge fiscal deficits, there's a need for change, it said. The mechanism of politics in Japan itself is based on lobbying for budget, and has led to a lot of, the people's voices are raised in terms of lobbying for funding from the central government. Under that system, it's very hard to get fiscal independence. It's not possible to, for any of the local governments to have their own base. Under the doshu system, the idea is to fund things more locally. If you ask someone, would you like a project? Of course, they would all want it. But it's more important for the people concerned to think seriously about it and think if they're willing to fund it themselves. There's a lot of, unclarity and pork in the present system. That's how I understand it. Thank you for that. You're going to eliminate the prefectures with the system, right? Yeah, under the doshu system. Is there a need to eliminate the names of the prefectures? Why not leave the name Kanagawa Prefecture as a name? Even if we adopt the doshu system, can't we have, it would be a merger of a number of prefectures, I suppose, but can't we leave the names of the prefectures? Why does the name of the prefecture have to be eliminated? I don't think that's necessary. What do you think?